Alright everyone, we're going to begin with custard for Irish apple pie. You're going to need 6 eggs, 1.5 teaspoons vanilla, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and 1.5 cups of milk. While the milk is on the stove at medium heat, you're going to separate the yolk from the white of the egg and add the sugar. You want to whisk this until the sugar dissolves completely. And we're not using the white part of the eggs, only the yolks for this recipe. As you can see, this is mixed well, looking nice and velvety. Make sure you're watching the milk to not allow it to overheat while you're mixing this though, because it can make curdles and lumps and you don't want that in your custard. Once the milk is nice and hot, go ahead and add a little at a time into the egg mixture, making sure you're not overcooking the egg while you're mixing it. Then go ahead and add your vanilla and throw it back onto the stove. Okay everyone, this is the finished product for the custard. Again, make sure you're mixing it constantly so you don't get any lumps in there. Now then we're going to go ahead and start on the pie topping.
That smells yummy.
Now for the streusel topping, you need 3/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 6 tablespoons unsalted cold butter into small pieces. You're going to blend the butter pieces into the flour, sugar, and oats until this mixture is like a crumble-like texture. Then go ahead and put it in the fridge until you need to build up your pie. For the cake base, you need 1¼ cup flour, 3 tablespoons of milk, 1 stick of butter at room temperature, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 2 large eggs, confectioner sugar for dusting, and about 3 to 4 apples peeled and sliced. While mixing this together, I have the oven preheated at 350 and a 9-inch round pan greased, ready to go. You're going to go ahead and cream together the butter and sugar until it's light and fluffy. Then you're going to add the eggs one at a time, making sure everything is getting mixed in well. I had to scrape the sides just to make sure that everything is going to be well incorporated, because sometimes it can get stuck at the bottom. And then while you're doing that, go ahead and whisk all the dry ingredients together, and then you're going to slowly add that into the butter mixture along with the milk. Also, this recipe calls for Granny Smith apples, but I only had Gala, so you could just use whatever you have on hand. And again, make sure you mix the sides well to make sure it's all well incorporated. I don't know about any of you, but I just love baking. It relaxes me and makes me feel good knowing that I'm able to make something good and something my family can enjoy. This looks nice and mixed, so I'm going to go ahead and add this to the greased pan. Alright, here's the finished product. I put the cake, the apples, and the streusel topping. You're going to throw this in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes or until the top is nice and golden brown and a toothpick poked comes out clean. That should be your marker that it's done. Let's see how it goes. Sorry that you could hear the baby in the background, guys. And there you have it, Irish apple pie. We went ahead and served it with some ice cream on the side.